As the nation gets ready for the biggest festival of democracy, political parties have kick-started their campaign in full swing. Everyone is out there with full gusto and enthusiasm. This elections in 2024 has really been about some hard bargaining over seat allocations, muscle flexing, but most importantly, political parties stitching those crucial alliances. In fact, speaking of alliances, today I have with me on CNN News 18, Rashtriya Lok Dal Chief Jayant Chaudhary and the grandson of Chaudhary Charan Singh. Jayant ji, thanks so much for speaking to us on CNN News 18. I know you've been very busy. It's been one election rally after the other. You've been sharing stage with the Prime Minister who's been leading from the front. So let's begin by just asking you, how has the experience been so far, one election after the other with the Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi?
He's providing energetic leadership, youthful energy almost, and seeing him at close quarters, understanding how he works, how he likes to work, his team building capacity, his ability to motivate people, it's quite incredible.
So Jayant, which brings me to my next obvious question is about this alliance between the BJP and the Rashtriya Lok Dal. I wanted to ask you that what really was the thought process behind getting into this alliance with the BJP, given the past of the party? Now, the fact is that there was not any obvious hostility between you and your previous alliance partner, Akhilesh Yadav, and you shared a very easy relationship. There was a lot of camaraderie, bonhomie between the two. In fact, you were his pick for the Rajya Sabha elections as well. And despite that, your party decided with a lot of consultation to pull the plug. Why so?
It's a complicated question to answer. There are never simplistic answers. These are all, you can justify it any way you want to.
Sure.
There are many factors at play. It is also an emotional decision. It's not difficult. It's not easy to change direction, to, change your alliance and change your tack in a way.
True.
But you have to take realistic decisions. The position in which I am, I have to look at the future. My decisions are not based on the past. They have to be forward-looking. I have to see what's happening all around me. I have to respond to the environment. So I was responsive to all of these cues, to what my workers wanted, what was good for our party, what is happening in the country today, and what is going to happen, what is the direction. And so it's...
And when did that happen? When was it that you sat down and you wanted to
There was no one aha moment.
Okay, oh, sure.
Being in the opposition, you're looking at it with a critical eye. Every decision of government, your task is to look at where the shortcomings are and take it to the people. So looking at things from that perspective, I think it's also a wider view. People who are enriched in the system, people who are part of the network of BJP or NDA, they will have a different perspective.
True. I
was working in the opposition, I had a different perspective on things. So looking at that larger view, I do feel that there is a big canvas that the Prime Minister himself has chosen to, create a fabulous painting on, and the country is watching. And whereas if you look at what the opposition, the entire pitch, their strategy, their communication, their grassroots politics, they're almost taking the nation back.
Interesting that you say that. Speaking of emotions, this entire period has been quite a tumultuous one, I can understand, for you. Taking that decision to break away from the alliance, to join a new party, and also the Bharat Ratna that was awarded to your grandfather. You, in fact, are the third generation torch bearer of his legacy. When I was watching you go up there and receive the award, if you could just take us through that moment, what were you feeling, what were you thinking? And the news when it was broken to you by Prime Minister Modi about their thought of awarding Shri Chaudhary Charan Singh the Bharat Ratna posthumously for his work to the nation.
I can't really explain the kind of emotions that one went through, especially in the Bharat Ratna ceremony. It was not a very hectic day, but I was exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally.
Sure.
So we were all very happy. We had members from the family reach out, and they came for the ceremony from United States. Some of my cousins who live there, they were able to come back. The kind of joy that they all felt. And this is the reason for us doing politics, in a way. that we are able to take forward his legacy, his thoughts, his vision. That is a political way of doing it. Now we feel that his name has been established for generations to come. His work is recognized. His contributions to nation building have been recognized. They've been given the right respect that he deserved.
But the question, a follow-up question to be that why now? Because, that realization should have come a long time ago. Chaudhary Charan Singh is someone who has been the champion of farmers, who's someone who's the architect of land reforms, as we all know, someone whose legacy was entrenched in the cause of a farmer's struggle. So why that recognition now? Why the announcement now, just before the election?
We are heading into mango season. तो एक होता है टपका आम, राइट? वो उस पे आप कहीं मसाला वसाला लगा के वो पक के जो मंडी में मिल रहा है, मार्केट में मिल रहा है, वो नहीं है, वो टपका है. So time is right. That's when it happened. We can't question the timing. It's a great decision. It's a decision for the future. It's a decision that gives a lot of power and strength to people who really work hard for this country at the grassroots, who live in villages, who live a dream, who have the courage to take risks for the country. It's a recognition of their spirit.
But some would argue, was that like a carrot offered? Did that lure
It's
you
a
to
fabulous
make
carrot.
such a big decision?
If this was a carrot, it's, you can talk about it being a diamond. Many carrots.
Sure.
It's not a carrot at all.
Sure.
And
that was not one of the reasons that
it
you
doesn't
had decided
diminish
to...
the decision in any way. Elections will happen. I don't care. We don't care about election results as much as we care about the Bharat Ratna. It's something that will last. So his legacy is preserved. We can institutionalize his thoughts. Every university in the country today is trying to embark on programs designed to create, to facilitate deeper level of thought, research, academic rigor on Chaudhary Sahab's work. Chaudhary Charan Singh ji was a politician. He was also a great social thinker. He was a reformer. He was perhaps an academic at heart. He wrote books on India's economy, on the path we must take as a nation.
Yes.
All of those things now will have a focus put on it. So that is a win beyond an election. Tomorrow I will not be fighting elections. RLD may not be anywhere. But the fact that Chaudhary Charan Singh ji was a Bharat Ratna, he was a gem for the country, it has been recognized forever, for posterity.
Wonderful. And you feel, that time is right, this is the good time, and you feel in a sense
could have happened earlier.
That vindication...
It could have always happened earlier. My father was always moving
Yes.
for it. It's something that was a part of his thought process. He would be very happy today if he was here to witness that special moment.
But do you see this, this change is some sort of an irony? Your grandfather, who's an iconic figure, his history and his legacy deeply rooted in the struggle of the farmers. Your decision of, aligning with the BJP also comes against the backdrop of simmering discontent in the farming community against the present regime. And the main demand that you would also know is, of course, the rising sugarcane prices, but predominantly pan-India it has been to give a legal guarantee on MSP. Do you feel in some sort of a way a little conflicted with aligning with a party and also having to, be the torchbearer of the farmers community? Because you are a very recognizable face amongst that community as well.
I understand your question. We have to engage with the policymakers. At least today, when there are farmers, who have their demands, they are able to put it to government. People in government, people in BJP should not feel कि हमारे दुश्मन हैं. And they do not feel like that. Coming from the inside, from sharing my perspective of what I have, sat through with them in meetings, their perspective, it's not that they have any adversarial attitude towards farmers. They recognize the contribution of farmers. And they want to do more for that community, for agriculturalists.
Did you feel the same when you were in the opposition?
Of course, see, government will take decisions.
Sure.
Some of them are good decisions. They're providing direct support, 6,000 rupees direct to everyone. Whether whatever your caste is, where you come from, you're a Hindu or Muslim, doesn't matter. You're a farmer, that has been recognized. straight to your account. Government is providing some support. Maybe meager, may not be what is required, but it is a commitment. And therefore, even the Bharat Ratna decision, in a way, it recognizes the spirit of this government and the approach. So not at all. I'm not putting any, it's not with a heavy heart I've taken this decision. I've taken it with a lot of hope. And farmers of this country must have hope. The third regime, the third term that we are seeking, thrice a big mandate we are going to the people with.
Yes.
If we get that mandate, definitely a lot of good will come out of that.
And do you feel that being in the government would perhaps enable you to address those grievances of the farmer?
That will be the attempt. That
in
is
an alliance with a government that is in power, you feel that would
That
help
is
you?
our sole purpose.
Okay. All right.
That is our unequivocal, I'm saying it openly, that is our sole purpose. That is why if we are in government, we are there for a reason.
Jayant, I spent a lot of time in Baghpat and also in other adjoining areas in Saharanpur. You have two seats from where your party will be contesting, Bijnor and Baghpat. Both these places have a sizable Muslim population, Bijnor especially, 5.5 lakhs plus 3.5 lakhs if I'm not mistaken. Now, about the Citizenship Amendment Act, the opposition has been extremely critical of the same. They have been saying it's discriminatory, divisive, against the constitutional ethos. I want to know your stand, your party stand as you go into the elections in these two places. Because when I was speaking to the community in Baghpat, at least, they of course say that their vote goes to the RLD. They were unequivocally clear about that. But yes, there were reservations about the BJP as well. How does RLD see
sometimes
itself on
policy
this matter?
measures to build a deeper understanding of what is the intent behind such measures needs to be given time for people at the grassroots to truly understand what it means to them. I think CA is one of those issues. It's not about denying anyone's citizenship as much as it is about according rights to people who have been persecuted in our neighboring countries. So from a human rights perspective, it is a positive move. But that needs to be understood. Right now it's election time.
But the opposition,
everything is being used.
Yes, they say it's a law to ensure that Muslims are relegated, that they're out of the country.
That is the pitch they're doing. That is the kind of emotional pitch they're trying to play on. And if you see the big rally in Delhi that happened the day we were in Meerut with Prime Minister, same day,
yes,
where the opposition leaders were coming together, what was written on that munch? Save democracy. Democracy is in great peril, but vote for us. Vote us into power and no longer will democracy be in peril. So that is a pitch they are using.
True.
Constitution. This is a refrain we always hear. कि संविधान बचाना है, संविधान बचाना है. कहाँ खतरे में है? हम कहाँ कह रहे हैं खतरे में? Constitutional rights are guaranteed. No one can take that away from people. We definitely don't intend to.
Okay.
So it's just a hype. They're trying to create a monster out of nothing.
Monster out of nothing. Speaking of election issues, now that we are getting to talk about so many of these issues, I think development is also something that is coming up a lot. These are some things I personally observed during my reporting when I go, that how much focus has been given to developments of smaller cities. Viksit Bharat encapsulates the Prime Minister's vision of a very developed, progressive, technically advanced India, and he also stresses on just how much smaller cities will play a crucial role in kind of resolving that dream or fulfilling that dream of 2047. How much do you think, how important is this for your party and if elected to power in your constituencies?
People are understanding that here is a government that is looking forward with a vision. It's recognized the challenges that we as a country face. And there are several issues where opposition doesn't have a voice. They don't have any vision. Take climate change, for instance. India has, there was a time when China was really determining the path on the multilateral forums. India has taken leadership on that issue. talk about big technology, new technologies that are coming up. There is no reason why we cannot compete. So India is about building its capabilities. Government is very focused on that strategically, and it is creating programs. It's giving a right push. It's providing resources at the right time. So I think I'm very happy to be part of that. And if we are able to unleash what's called the animalistic spirits of our economy, then we will really have double-digit growth.
And you also believe that the emphasis and the thrust should be on smaller cities?
The urban areas, you know, even below the tag of second-tier city, there are many areas. First of all, they need to be upgraded. Their urban governance needs to be put in place. And then there are programs that are providing resources to them. Sewage, water connection, the bare minimum.
Sanitation.
Yes. We don't,
huge
even in Delhi, we
issue.
still don't have a price for sewage. We have a price for water. But ultimately, it is consumers and citizenry that pays if you don't have any plans in place. So there's, whether it's the Atal scheme, there are many schemes today that are operational. And 100 smart cities was a declaration of intent. Chaudhary Charan Singh ji spoke about villages because at that time, villages had a huge role to play in the development of our economy. They still do. But here we have a government that's recognizing that yes, it is these small urban areas that now need to be given a push.
Interesting. Going back to our conversation earlier on about your decision to ally with the BJP, also ruffled a few feathers in your party. Shahid Siddiqui, for one, extremely upset, resigning. How have you been able to balance all of this?
It's par for course. He was not very upset.
No, he had some good words for you,
Yeah.
but he was extremely
I
upset
spoke to him.
with the ideology.
No,
And
see, I spoke to him many times. I explained the reasoning, and I thought he understood.
okay,
So, and he's a fair man. He has his own experience. He helped the party in a tough period. I'll always recognize that. He worked with my father, and he has his own family lineage and his own support.
about
So,
your
and कोई बंदिश थोड़ी है.
जी.
People work with you because they want to work with you. When that drive or spark isn't there, the people are free to take their decisions.
Absolutely, fair enough. But I noticed this is the first time you've changed things around. The first time that you have put up a candidate from outside your family, Dr. Rajkumar Sangwan. Now I know that he is a dedicated party worker, a veteran loyalist, and someone who has handled the party affairs for over 40 years. But just to take that decision, to put someone from a constituency that has been a bastion for your family, is it just towing the BJP's line of moving away from Parivarvad, Vanshvad, getting out of it?
It's not a BJP line for us.
What was the thought?
It's a
Why-
R&D decision we've taken.
Sure.
We have not kept those things, were not part of my decision making at all.
But it's a big move.
It is a big move also because
what motivated
he's
you
not
to take
Mr.
that?
Moneybags. In a time where people recognize that what the election commission mandates is not the amount people are spending. Candidates are spending a lot more than that. Voters know this, the reality of our election process. And here is a man who doesn't have any property in his name. He left his house in the village. He told his family that I am dedicated to social work.
And no family.
In 1979 or 1980, he went to jail to protest, the rape of, misdemeanor against a woman, what was known as Maya Tyagi Kand. He was motivated by Chaudhary Charan Singh ji at a young age, and since then he's only been helpful for people. There is not a single RLD candidate over the years who he has not gone and helped. He couldn't help with money, but he has campaigned for them. So he deserves it. It's a long time coming. I think Baghpat deserves it. Baghpat has always given good leaders.
But it's a shift, Jayant, and that I am attributing that to you. You
No,
are
of course, it
changing
is a
things
conscious
around.
decision, but it's not as if I've left Baghpat. I still
Sure.
feel ownership for the decisions that we will take. And I have a responsibility to that region because it's represented something. It's not just a constituency for me. It's very emotional for me. And I will recognize and respect those emotions forever. So Sangwanji has been given the ticket today. and hopefully he'll be given a chance by the voters.
And the SP, their musical chairs, has been grabbing a lot of headlines. They have also changed the candidate. There was one candidate, Manoj Chaudhary ji, and now there's
Have they
Amarpal
not
Sharma.
changed candidates in every seat?
There's that, yeah, but it's just coming right before the elections.
No campaign
Amarpal
on
Sharma
ground.
is a Brahmin face, going to be now facing Dr. Rajkumar Sangwan. What do you
I don't
make
know
of
if
this
he even-
reshuffling within the Sappa
If
party?
he even knows the villages in Baghpat, he's not from the region. And he has many criminal cases against him, many allegations, serious nature. These are not petty crimes. So he comes with his own track record. You can call it track record, you can call it baggage. So ultimately voters should see here's one unblemished person overall with a distinguished record of social service and with a great energy at his age and a commitment to the people. On the other hand, there's the other alternative, which you see. So it's a confused lot. India, they got the name right. After that, they did very little else. And the way Samajwadi is functioning, it's now very evident that they are not in it to win it. You know, आपने किसी को टिकट दिया, you are recognizing that person's capacity. There are his followers, there are his supporters, there are well-wishers. He's gone and nominated, filed his nomination. After that, when you cut his ticket, what's going to happen? All those voters, supporters, leaders will sit at home or they'll work against you. You cut again and give it to third person, what's going to happen? There, on ground, there's not a single meeting that's been organized. India has not been able to do a rally in Western UP.
But is that why you're calling them a confused bunch of parties?
They're not even going to the voters and saying vote for us. वोट अपील नहीं कर पा रहे, कैंडिडेट नहीं तय आप कर पा रहे, पार्टी नहीं चला पा रहे, देश क्या चलाओगे?
Very briefly now, as I wrap up the interview, I want to take it's going to be a quick rapid fire. It's a fun thing. The first
Karan Johar type.
No, yeah, maybe just to add some more fun to this interview as we wrap up things. But I'm going to just take 4-5 names, and the first word or the first thought that comes to your mind, if you could just share with our viewers. Narendra Modi.
Energy.
Amit Shah.
Vision.
Akhilesh Yadav.
Lal Topi.
Rakesh Tikait.
Hari Pagdi.
Farmer.
The real man.
India. Bloc.
Going forward. India bloc.
India Bloc. That's why I added.
Mayhem. Chaos.
Jayant Chaudhary, it was absolutely a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward and see what happens next for your alliance and your party with the BJP. Thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thanks to your channel.